keeps telling us that the iPad is a perfect replacement for your laptop or desktop computer. However, if you try to replace your computer with an iPad, you'll run into one issue right away, and that is this thing right here, the lightning port. There aren't that many accessories that support the lightning port specifically. So it's very likely that you're going to have to buy an adapter to get any kind of accessories to work with this thing. So one of the ones that you can get officially from Apple is the Apple Lightning to USB 3 camera adapter. Now, even though they specifically say camera adapter, you can use this with just about any USB based device. You can see it's got a USB type A port and a lightning over here, which we're going to talk about later. There's an important reason why this thing is there. So the USB A port, this is where you plug in all your stuff. So the main reason why I got this is because there was a time in my life where I was editing tons of YouTube videos on my iPad, and I needed an easy way to get all the video files from my SD card, which is this SanDisk 128 gigabyte one right here, onto here, because I was making gaming videos. So when I know how much I paid for this, it was a ridiculous $40 US, or somewhere around there. Here in South Africa, it's about 900 Rand, just for the dongle. Like, the dongle on my MacBook has like 5 times more ports, and yet it costs the same amount as this. The Mac one had HDMI, Ethernet, 2 USB ports, etc, etc. But this one only has 1. So right off the bat, without even testing it, we already know that it's ridiculously overpriced. And then the second issue that you run into while using this thing is you go ahead and you plug it in, and boom, now it's just dangling on the side, and you go ahead, take it, and you plug in your flash drive. Right? Very easy, no issues. Now let's go ahead and access it, but instead you just get this message. Cannot use accessory. This accessory requires too much power. So one big issue with Lightning is that unlike USB, you can't send power through the Lightning port. So anytime that the iPad thinks that an accessory requires too much power, whether it be a flash drive or a hard drive, it just won't work. The only thing that I found that works perfectly with this thing was wireless mice. You know those wireless ones with the USB? Those ones work perfectly with this one, but the kind of things that you actually needed for like these things, it just doesn't work. You have to plug it into the charger first. So the whole point of an iPad is that you'll be able to work anywhere, just portable. It's the most portable device that you can have around, and yet in order to actually use it with anything remotely productive, you have to plug it into a wall or a power bank, which is just ridiculous. And on top of that, once you've got the thing plugged in, what you'll find is that certain hard drives do not actually work with this thing. Your hard drive specifically has to be formatted to Apple specific file format, APFS or macOS Extended Journal, or it has to be FAT32 or exFAT. Anything formatted with the Windows specific file format called NTFS does not work. So of course, when I went to go take this flash drive and plug it into here after recording my Xbox clips, I was so disappointed to find out that while I can read the files here, while I can see what's on this flash drive, I can't actually do any sort of file management. I can't move around files or delete them. Okay, and then another problem is that this accessory is expensive, but now with Lightning being phased out, anyone who ever bought this thing is going to be disappointed to find out they just wasted their money, because now with Apple moving over to USB Type-C, there's really no need to charge this much money for a dongle. However, if there's one great redeeming factor about this, is that I have one of those fake Apple pencils right here. It's got a USB Type-C port over here, and if I get the cable, I can actually charge this pencil from the iPad just by using this adapter. So that's kind of a bonus, I guess. And then of course, back to video editing. Even though it says USB 3.0, the iPad Lightning thing only supports about USB 2.0 speeds. So if you're trying to edit off of this thing, because we all know these cheaper iPads like this one I have here, right here, the iPad 7, it only has about 128 gigabytes of storage, which is not really enough for a lot of video editing. So you'd think it would be nice to edit directly off of the flash drive, but because of the USB 2.0 speeds, that's unfortunately not possible. So that's another computer style benefit that's lost from this adapter and Apple's bad choices. The iPad is definitely not a computer replacement. If I were you, I would not buy this thing.